One of the main tactics that narcissistic individuals or toxic folks like to use is guilt tripping. Let's talk about that. Guilt tripping is an emotional technique that they use to ensure that the outcome favors them, even though you're making the right decision when you're making a decision when it pertains to them. Guilt tripping is mainly used when, let's say, you just got discarded by a narcissist, and a few days later, they're going to be like, oh, how come you're acting like that? How come you're not picking up my calls? How come you're creating emotional distance? Why you won't talk to me? This is all examples of guilt tripping to pull on your heartstrings. Guilt tripping runs deep because many family members will do this to you when you figure them out and you creating distance between you and them. When you're detaching emotionally, they will try to guilt trip you into believing that you can't do that. We're family. We're supposed to stick together no matter what. This is all guilt tripping tactics to make you feel guilty about protecting yourself and preserving yourself from energy vampires, pretty much. Some jobs that you left will guilt trip you for leaving the job. I know some of us have had jobs where we didn't even give a 2 weeks notice. We just quit out of nowhere. And sometimes the manager or the boss or whoever will call you to see if you'll come back in or give them 2 more weeks or things like that. And sometimes they'll shame you because you just quit all of a sudden. The truth be told, guilt tripping is the reason why a lot of us stuck around with toxic friendships and toxic relationships, toxic households, longer than we should have. And that was because when you're a chosen one, you have a heart of love. You really show genuine love and you try to show compassion and forgiveness. But there's just some people you just can't forgive all the time. The more you keep forgiving, the more they'll keep taking. And that's just a valuable lesson that, if you're an empathic, loving individual, you have to learn these things ahead of time. You can catch an evildoer red-handed doing some messed up things to you, but because you made a decision to not go back and forth with them or to not tolerate it anymore, they're going to use a tactic called guilt tripping to make you doubt your own decision. And this has been going on for a very long time, and it's quite important to talk about these things because a lot of people are stuck in situations simply because the people around them just keep guilt tripping them like you shouldn't cut them off, you shouldn't move on from them, right? But you have all that power within you all along. So the message I have for you all tonight is there is nothing wrong with making decisions for yourself, even if it's at the cost of how they're going to feel. Because a lot of times we've been guilt tripped so many times throughout the years that sometimes they try to make us feel guilty when we live for ourselves and not include them in whatever it is that we have going on. Not anymore. Because a lot of times when you did include them in certain things, what did they do? They tried to sabotage it. They came against you even though you was doing the right thing by them. No, who wants to be around somebody where when you help them out, they still turn against you? There's something psychologically wrong with that. You understand? Don't let them guilt trip you into believing that you have to tolerate them. You have every right to do what's right for you. All right? I hope y'all enjoyed the message.